What if you could boost your muscle growth rate while you sleep? Given that most people spend at least 6 to 9 hours sleeping each night, this could lead to exponentially faster results. While you sleep, your muscles are able to fully relax, and your body releases certain hormones favorable for muscle growth and repair. Recovery and repair automatically become top priorities for your body while you sleep, and there are 5 powerful things you can do to enhance the muscle protein synthesis process and achieve the best possible recovery while catching some Z's. Tip 1. Protein. The first simple way to improve muscle growth during sleep is to consume protein before bedtime. Having some protein before bed, whether in the form of a casein protein shake or real food like cottage cheese, is likely to increase your protein synthesis rate while decreasing muscle protein breakdown that occurs towards the end of the day. Protein in your body is primarily used as a building block for all your muscles. When you go for a long period without eating food, your body ends up running out of amino acids, which means it has to break down some of the amino acids found in tissues like muscles. On the other hand, when you have a steady supply of new amino acids while you sleep, your body doesn't need to break down muscle tissue. Instead, it can efficiently repair and develop muscles that need recovery. Numerous studies show that consuming protein before bed can accelerate muscle development. For example, one study evaluated the impact of pre-sleep protein intake on healthy young men's habits. They were all instructed to undergo an evening weightlifting session, and after the workout, all men were given 20 grams of protein. However, the study results showed that only half of the participants, 30 minutes before sleep, received a protein shake containing 40 grams of casein protein, while the other half just slept. Researchers noted that the group that had the shake showed elevated muscle and protein synthesis. Assessing these results, it was suggested that post-workout recovery is boosted by protein consumption. However, the issue with this study is that we don't know if this increase in muscle growth is the result of simply consuming more protein and calories in general, or if it's specific to consuming protein directly before bedtime. So, we have another study where again young men went through a 12-week resistance training program. During this time, all men in the study maintained a daily protein intake routine of 1.3 grams per kilogram of body weight. The only difference among participants was that one group received a pre-sleep shake consisting of 27.5 grams of protein and 15 grams of carbohydrates, while the control group received a placebo drink without protein. Ultimately, the results showed that the group consuming the protein shake experienced significantly greater muscle strength and size. Therefore, consuming protein before bed is likely to benefit both muscle growth and repair. The International Society of Sports Nutrition concluded that casein protein, at a rate of about 30 to 40 grams of protein before sleep, can sharply increase muscle protein synthesis and resting metabolic rate throughout the night. So, if you're watching this before bedtime, please keep in mind that all these references specifically refer to casein protein, while you'll likely experience benefits from other protein sources as well, including whey casein, which might be the superior protein source to have before sleep. The reason for this is that casein protein is absorbed more slowly than other protein sources, especially fast-absorbing ones like whey protein. Sleeping. This provides you with a steady and sustained supply of amino acids while you're asleep, allowing you to build more muscles while sleeping without the need for ingesting more amino acids. Keep in mind that casein isn't only found in a protein shake. You can get it in foods, especially dairy-based ones like cottage cheese, yogurt, and milk. Now, another extremely powerful way to build much more muscle while snoozing in bed is to get enough sleep. Many people don't like hearing this because they don't understand that consistently getting enough sleep is an extremely low-hanging fruit. The impact on your ability to build muscles at a faster rate is highly influenced by the quality of sleep you get. For example, in a study I mentioned earlier, subjects were divided into 2 groups and both were in calorie deficits. One group slept 8.5 hours per night, and Group 2 slept only 5.5 hours per night. At the end of the study, both groups lost the same amount of weight, which was expected, given the fact that they were both maintaining exactly the same caloric deficit. However, changes in body composition were very different between the groups. The sleep-deprived group lost 60% more muscle and 55% less fat than those who got 8.5 hours of sleep per night. And it doesn't take long for lack of sleep to negatively impact muscle growth. For example, a 2018 article looked at how one night of sleep deprivation would affect a group of young people. Researchers found that simply by not sleeping for one night, participants already showed signs of increased muscle protein breakdown. Additionally, adipose tissue throughout the body already had elevated levels of metabolites and proteins involved in fat storage. In other words, not only is getting enough sleep important to ensure you stay lean and lean, but it's also crucial from a muscle-building perspective. Some reasons are that not getting enough sleep decreases testosterone, negatively impacts gym performance, decreases muscle recovery, increases muscle protein breakdown, and increases systemic inflammation. The most obvious tip is to sleep more, which is easier said than done because the average person gets less than 7 hours of sleep every night, according to the National Institutes of Health. Unfortunately, there isn't a best amount of sleep to aim for per night. It depends on individual factors. Some people need more sleep than others to function and build muscle optimally, but for the vast majority of people, the general guideline is to aim for at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep per day. This doesn't mean being in your bed for 7 to 9 hours. It means 7 to 9 hours of actual sleep. Sleep now is important to understand that if you train hard, you may need more sleep to recover optimally and maximize muscle growth. In that case, you may want to aim for at least 8 to 9 hours of sleep per night. It's also important to note that not all sleep is created equal. If, for example, you regularly wake up during the night because of noise, your sleep will be less restorative than if you slept soundly. The following is obvious: lift weights. But it's worth mentioning anyway. You need to lift weights to build muscles faster. While you sleep, you'll need to provide the stimulus for your body to rebuild larger, stronger muscles. To get started with this, it means you need to lift weights and apply progressive overload. When you lift weights, muscle protein synthesis will automatically be elevated while you're sleeping. But if you don't sleep and don't lift, that won't be the case. One of the best things you can do is train each muscle at least twice a week, given that muscle protein synthesis generally remains elevated for about 48 to a maximum of 72 hours after the workout. Training each muscle multiple times a week is superior and will keep muscle protein synthesis elevated almost every week while you sleep. Additionally, sleeping and strength training are mutually beneficial, and these benefits apply both ways. Lifting weights actually improves sleep quality, as shown by several studies, and especially improves sleep if you train late at night, as confirmed by a 2019 meta-analysis. Remember that having a pre-workout or taking caffeine before a late-night workout can actually decrease sleep quality. Optimize your bedroom environment. Next, you'll want to optimize your bedroom environment. As I said, it's not just about the hours you spend sleeping, but you also want high sleep quality to get the most muscle-building benefits. One of the best things you could do for better sleep quality is to optimize your bedroom environment. This can be done in several ways. One of them is making sure your room is completely dark while you sleep, because even a relatively small amount of light can disrupt sleep. If your room isn't completely dark, or if you wake up in the early morning before your wake-up time with sunlight coming into your room, get some blackout curtains so your sleep isn't constantly interrupted. Alternatively, you could also use a sleep mask to block out any unwanted light. Another important thing to consider, which I've already alluded to, is ambient noise, such as air and vehicle traffic. This has been shown to increase stage 1 sleep and decrease slow wave and REM sleep, which are detrimental because during REM sleep the body allocates its resources to the task of repairing tissues and cells. Additionally, noise during sleep can also lead to extra production of hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, as well as elevated heart rate and blood pressure, which impairs sleep quality and makes it more likely for you to wake up earlier. Therefore, my personal recommendation for blocking out sound is to use something known as white noise or brown noise, playing it while you sleep. Not only do these sounds help me sleep, but they also block out external noise. However, you should know that a consistent monotonous sound hasn't been confirmed to benefit or harm sleep quality by research. Some studies show it may actually increase sleep quality, while others show neutral or negative effects. So, it's likely a matter of personal preference. If you prefer, it's completely normal to sleep with white or brown noise in the background, or even the sound of a fan or air conditioner, or nature sounds can work. But if you're the type of person who prefers to sleep in complete silence, that's okay too. In that case, investing in high-quality earplugs may also be beneficial. One last thing regarding your bedroom environment is that you want to make sure the room isn't too warm, as concluded by the Sleep Foundation. The optimal sleeping temperature is approximately 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Finally, Tip number 5 for building more muscles while sleeping is to avoid alcohol consumption as much as possible. While some people find it easier to fall asleep after drinking alcohol, it doesn't enhance sleep quality. In fact, your sleep will likely be significantly worse because drinking disrupts the sleep cycle. Alcohol in your system means you'll spend less time in the important REM stage of sleep. The end result is that you wake up feeling less refreshed, and even just a few drinks can have this effect. Now, if you have 1 or 2 drinks occasionally, the adverse effects you'll experience in terms of health and muscle growth are more likely to be very small, if any. However, don't make it a habit, and especially avoid excessive alcohol consumption, which is more detrimental to sleep quality and muscle building while sleeping. Also, if you do want to have a drink or two, from a sleep and muscle building standpoint, it would be best to have alcohol relatively early in the evening rather than closer to bedtime. If you want to enhance the quality of your sleep and promote muscle building more effectively, it's worth considering these alternatives to using alcohol. Taking care of your sleep environment, maintaining a consistent sleep routine, ensuring adequate magnesium intake, avoiding caffeine late in the day, and, if necessary, considering melatonin supplementation are valuable steps to improve your rest. If these tips have been helpful to you, or if you're interested in more guidance on health, wellness, and personal enhancement, we would be very grateful if you could follow us on our YouTube channel. There, we regularly share valuable content that can contribute to your overall well-being. Your presence and support would be incredibly welcome. Thank you for considering, and we look forward to having you with us.